So what is up, guys? Welcome back to a post-episode discussion video of Gotham, and today we're talking about episode 2, titled The Fear Reaper. This is kind of a review-y kind of thing, but at the same time we get to talk to you guys about what you thought about it, and then we can discuss it all together. If you're watching this after this live stream, do not worry. Just take it as like a normal discussion-y, review-y video. I know some of you always say, you know, like, you're gutted that you didn't make it. But honestly, don't worry about it. We've still got the whole season to go. We've got plenty of opportunity. And tonight, by the way, I just want to say this, for all of you guys who are watching this stream right now. I think there's like just around over 10 of you. There is a live stream going on tonight. If any of you watch Pagey, if any of you watch DJ Eric, or should I say Eric's Reloaded, I always call it by his Twitter name, and the DC TV show, we are all doing a 4-channel crossover, sort of like the 4-show crossover on the CW shows. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that live stream coming later tonight. So it's gonna be 7 PM GMT. If you can't work out what, if you don't know what time that is for you, or whatever time zone, just Google it. Honestly, just put 7 PM GMT to wherever you live. Like, I don't know, 7 PM GMT to Ohio time, or something like that. But anyway, let's get on with the episode. So this episode was a good episode, but I think with the amount of previews that Gotham pumped out, I feel like there wasn't too much to be surprised about. This is the thing. I love Gotham's promotional material, should I say, is has always been like very good, and it gets us all very pumped. But I feel like for the Fear Reaper episode, for Scarecrow, I feel like there's way too much, that we already knew that was going to happen. I mean, it was only yesterday, before when the episode aired, we got the scene with Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, going up to Warden Reed, gassing him with fear gas. And that I just feel like they shouldn't do stuff like that. It does kind of spoil it. And yes, you could argue, why watch it then? But it's just like, well, of course I'm going to watch it. And, with the kind of work that I do here on YouTube, whenever a trailer comes out, I do tend to break it down, because it's just new stuff that we can cover. So yeah, that's what I mean. We've already got some comments in the comment section saying, I agree, it kind of spoils it. But I just wanted to take that piece. But other than that, it was a really good episode. There's a couple of things I didn't necessarily agree with or like. But at the end of the day, it was still a very cool episode. So Bruce was actually, considering the end of episode 1, he fell through the glass and got caught by the GCPD. He was actually behind bars, and I didn't see that coming. So to be fair, I didn't see that coming. And good old Jim was actually letting him out. And I just feel like, I just love moments like that between Alfred, Jim, and Bruce. Just seeing Bruce behind bars and Jim just like, I know you didn't really do anything wrong. You can't really do anything wrong. You're Bruce. But little does he know what Bruce is actually up to. Love the ending with Brucey Boy. Yep, the ending was very cool. I'll get to that in a little bit. What did you think of the rock climbing? Now I'll get to that bit as well. So, yeah. So after Bruce was let out of the, basically behind bars, we got that famous moment, which we all saw coming because of the promos, saying, have you been in a fight, Bruce? And then they're just like, it's rock climbing. And I just love it, because Lucius is a very intelligent man. As we all know, he's the one who helps Bruce out in most versions of the comics, with whether it's, equipment, technology, and in this case, his suit. He was just not taking any of the crap. He was just like, right, okay, rock climbing, just be careful. And then at the end of the episode, it was actually, we saw Lucius bring Bruce's suit into Wayne Manor after Bruce and Alfred were actually arguing about, Bruce going out there with basically, and this is what I was saying as well, with no protection other than the fabric of his clothes. And, Alfred's just like, I'm not gonna, sit here and stand here and watch you get shot by people you might come across in Gotham City when you're going out there. So Lucius came to Wayne Manor, and he was just like, well, here this is for rock climbing. And I like how they included, this is something he actually, they were all working on when he used to work at Wayne Enterprises. So I'm really glad they included that in, because a lot of people were just like, but Lucius Fox doesn't work, for Wayne Enterprises anymore. So how's he gonna get a hold of all this equipment? How's it gonna actually happen? But it's like something, it's still kind of a grey area, because it's something that, you know, why would he have it? What is he? Did he just take some of that stuff home? But I guess it's just some of the stuff that we have to accept with this show. But at least they kind of gave us a little bit of an explanation. They could have just been like, yo, I'm Lucius Fox, this is normally my role in the comics, so yeah, here, have this suit. So they did try a little bit. I didn't expect Ivy to use potions. Now, I will talk about that. We're going to talk about things, I guess, quite out of order. Now, in my previous trailer breakdowns, I discussed this moment we saw quite a few times in quite a few of the trailers. They wanted to put this across that Ivy's face was morphing. Like, it was morphing into some weird kind of thing. And I thought, you know, is this the start of Poison Ivy? They definitely advanced the character by making her age up. She looks really beautiful. She's attractive. And they even included her to get some of these plant stuff so she could, like, seduce men, which is very foreshadowing of her future, like, character as Poison Ivy. But I knew, like, in the trailer, we saw her duck over or something like that and take this thing. And in this episode, we actually saw this happen. And there was actually an explanation for it. She said, I heard you have potions in this store from a shamans from all across the world. So this is like some really legit potion stuff. And I was just like, wow, they're actually giving us a proper explanation. And this, if she takes this, and, you know, the guy was just like, you know, this will get in your DNA, it will get in your blood. So they're really, really emphasizing the point that this will permanently change, like, who she is. And it's very dangerous if she takes the amount, you know, even a little bit of it. But she just knocks back, like, 2 or 3 shots of this stuff. So she is, I feel like she is going to be, like, full-on metahuman. Like, in this show, they're not exactly doing, like, the Flash particle accelerator for how these people with powers, you know, happen, or how their characters, you know, with powers exist. But in this show, they do it in a different way. For example, you know, with Ivy, she's taken all this stuff which should potentially kill you or just really do something bad to you, but I bet you it's going to alter her DNA. And it's going to give her these Poison Ivy powers. I think Ivy's going to be really, like, beautiful as she is in the show, as her default look. But when she wants to be strong, dangerous, she's going to go in that creepy, pixie, evil-looking mode. So I don't know how much of that we're going to see, because I assume that costs quite a bit of money. But I'm really happy they're advancing her storyline. Really, really, really happy. Throughout this episode, obviously, it was mainly about Scarecrow, and I believe I think they kind of confirmed that it wasn't Arkham Asylum. It was just a mental asylum. They kept saying the asylum. Like, they weren't saying Arkham, it was just some other asylum. I guarantee it was the same set as what they used for Arkham Asylum. But no, I don't believe this was Arkham Asylum. It's kind of difficult to work out, to be honest, but I did pay attention, and they were literally saying the asylum, the mental asylum, not Arkham. They would have said Arkham straight up if it was Arkham. But no, yeah, so Scarecrow was going around, and Jim went there because he had to basically apprehend Jonathan Crane in the next 24 hours to prove to Penguin that, you know, the GCPD can still handle some stuff, like, you know, crime and everything like that. And this was a really trippy episode, and I'm glad they did it this way. They were emphasizing the horror in it. The only thing I wasn't so sure about with the whole fear gas thing is how the water, you know, essentially fixed everything. I get how, you know, they had to tie it up one way or another. Like, how else would they immediately knock the fear toxin out of these people? But I really wasn't sure about sprinkling water over everyone. That was just a bit like, really, the Scarecrow fear toxin. It's got treated and cured by water sprayed in the face. I wasn't sure about that. The show threw me off when Tabitha was about to slice Barbara's hand, though. I was kind of rooting for Tabitha to cut it, but I have a sense for why she didn't. No, yeah, I agree. I wasn't so sure about that moment either. I think if it would have kind of annoyed me if they cut off Barbara's hand. I was actually thinking in my head, okay, they're actually going to go ahead and cut her hand off. But she's, I thought she would actually legit in the next episode dip her hand in the Lazarus pit, or just come back with her hand still there due to the Lazarus pit regrowing it or some bull crap like that. But I'm glad they didn't do that, because I guarantee the show would have done something as wacky as Barbara walking back with her hand. Not necessarily showing her hand growing back, but they would have been like, how did you do that? And then she's just like, oh, Ra's al Ghul. Boba, I'm watching you in school. Well, I don't recommend that, man. You might get in trouble. But no, thanks for watching the stream regardless. I wasn't so sure about the fear toxin being cured by water, but nevertheless, that whole Scarecrow was amazing. I was really actually happy. I was really expecting, to be honest, from what they've showed us, Scarecrow to be apprehended in this episode. I thought Jim might have actually come back with him, but no, he's out there somewhere still. So that means we might see him again this season, just like how we saw the Mad Hatter come back every now and again. So I'm really in season 3. So I'm really hoping that we get to see Scarecrow and Jonathan, well, aka Jonathan Crane, again later in this episode. When do you think we will get Solomon Grundy? I think all this stuff is going to happen next episode. I think Solomon Grundy, I think Riddler might get out next episode as well. It's definitely in the next 2 episodes. Obviously, I'm not psychic. I can't guarantee it's next episode. But I am very confident that it is next episode or the episode after. But I don't necessarily think it will be episode 4 because that's called The Demon's Head. I think it will be mainly centered around, obviously, Ra's al Ghul. But that's not to say that they don't include side scenes. Like, for example, I think Professor Pig will be introduced as a subplot initially, and then mainly put as this episode later on. You're a good YouTuber. Like your vids. Thank you very much, Chairman. I thought that was really cool, just the whole Scarecrow stuff. I was a little bit disappointed by how easily the fear toxin was cured, but at the same time, you know, I want to see both sides of the story, guys. So at the same time, this is very early Gotham. This is very early Scarecrow. So this fear toxin is basically in beta. You know, it's not. Think about how far Scarecrow has to go with his fear toxin by the time Batman has to come. Think how much more powerful, think how much stuff can be manipulated into it. Think how much, look how much could be, you know, really added to it. So I think that's my making up factor as to why the water dismissed it so easily. Just because, you know, just like Bruce's Batsuit, it's kind of crappy sort of in a way, just like the fear toxin is crappy compared to what it will be and what the Batsuit will be one day and how good it will be with, you know, the Batman suit one day. Hi Boba, you guessed about Lee's scenes being Jim's fear visions. I didn't think it was so difficult because in the Dark Bound trailer or like the promo trailer for whatever, we did see those scenes, so yeah, I think you know, that is Jim's kind of one of his worst fears, because that's something I wanted to touch on as well. That was kind of confirmed in the episode. Jim was just hearing Lee say, like, you know, you destroy everything you touch, you've ruined so much basically in my life. I think he really does know that. I think he knows the show. That's the show's way of saying, because this is all in Jim's mind. It's 100%, even though he's under the influence of the fear gas. It's still all him. It's all his insecurities, all his fears coming to the surface. I think that's the show's way of telling us that Jim, you know, even though he's this very righteous person, he's very tortured by the stuff he's done, and he feels extremely guilty about a lot of things. So I'm really glad they included those fear scenes. But, you know, he very easily overcame his fears. I kind of hoped that this episode would be a bit scary as well, like the first few scenes in the asylum scene where there's just people walking behind him and such. Wish we got more of that. No, I do agree with you, Demented Fish, because John Stevens was saying, he was kind of hyping it up. He's an executive producer of Gotham. How the Scarecrow episode is a really scary episode, and it's like a horror episode, and maybe people like me and you, which weren't scared by it, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think it was too freaky. I get, like, don't get me wrong, it was kind of creepy. There was horror-esque, and obviously it's the Scarecrow. I totally felt that vibe, but no, I wasn't really scared by it. I think they did a very good job though, but I don't think they could properly achieve a very scary episode. Something that made me actually very interested is, you know, with Bruce's new bat suit, I noticed at the end, when Bruce was, you know, jumping around, getting a bit cocky, because he was saying it's so lightweight, he barely feels like he's wearing anything at all. So, you know, he can really glide when he jumps, and he feels a lot more secure in what he's doing when he's basically free running. Alfred said over the comlink or the communications, whatever you want to call it, that you know, he basically says, try wearing the mask I made for you. He didn't say try wearing the mask Lucius made. He said, try wearing the mask that I made. So Alfred made that proto-bat mask. So I found that very interesting. you know, obviously in that Lucius Fox suitcase, box, whatever you want to call it, briefcase, there was no mask. It was just the Kevlar weave suit. You had the grippy gloves, and the comlink unit, but you didn't have the mask. So I found it interesting that Alfred made that mask. Laughed my ass off. That dude hallucinating the clowns at the beginning of the episode did remind me of Pennywise. No, yeah, I actually thought that would have, when I was watching the trailer, I thought the clowns were Jim's hallucination, but no, it was actually Warden Reed's, the warden of this asylum, this mental asylum. But overall, like, honestly, this episode was actually, it was very good. I felt kind of underwhelmed, if I'm being honest, because of the amount of stuff they showed. I really feel like people, like, all the shows need to stop doing, you know, showing so much. Don't get me wrong, you can show teasers, but I felt like I saw 8 out of 10, maybe 7, but 8 out of 10 scenes in this episode due to promo stuff, you know. And then they upload whole scenes the days before, but it's just like, I don't know if they should do that. Have you seen the episode 3 promo yet? No, I actually haven't seen the episode 3 promo yet. I plan on making a video on that immediately after this live stream, and hopefully getting it out before the live stream tonight that I'm doing with Paigey, Eric's Reloaded, and the DC TV show. So I just want to say that again. I know I've plugged it a couple of times in this stream, but to all 26 of you in this stream, there is a live stream going on tonight. You may watch other YouTubers such as Eric's Reloaded, otherwise known as DJ Eric. You may watch the DC TV show. You may watch Paigey. We're doing a really cool 4-channel crossover event tonight where we're answering all comic book related questions that you guys have submitted, and some from the live chat as well, which is kind of what like I'm answering now. So that's at 7 p.m. GMT. So I think that's in 5-6 hours time. 5.5 hours time. Jalen says, how did you interpret that Barbara Oswald scene? I found that very interesting because the thing that I took out of that is Oswald was like, so, you know, with everything that you've got going here, everything, the guns, you know, you need it to be licensed through me and stuff, but how did you pay for all this? You know, like who's behind all of this going on? And she didn't say anything, but he was like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to find out. But what we all know as well is that it's Ra's al Ghul. And I'm wondering if Ra's al Ghul is going to be known amongst people like even Penguin and stuff, or he's going to be just more of a background character, and it's going to be more of a Jim and Bruce plot. But no, yeah, I think it was interesting. I found it very interesting in terms of how Penguin just basically walked all over Barbara, saying, you know, these guns need to be taxed. But I found it quite funny, and you know, it was one of the main. I knew as soon as this happened what was going to happen, but when Penguin basically walked all over Ivy and just told her to shut up, I thought, like, you know, this is it. This is her going to be, you know, this is her exit away from Penguin. This is how she's going to rebel. Let's talk a bit about Selena as well. I think I really like, she looks so much more grown up now. I mean, she is like 18 in real life now, but she, you know, she was walking into that, it looked like this really weird bell tower kind of building that Barbara's guns were in. And she was just walking in with that whip on her side. And I thought that was really cool. She's just so Catwoman now. Like, you can see, she's not got a massive, massive amount to go till she's really kind of Selena Catwoman style. So, I really like what they're doing with Selena at the minute in the show. She looks so grown up. She's looking more badass. She's wanting more. She's like, I want in on this to Tabitha. That's why basically we knew before this was all going down this season that she would be the tape between Barbara and Tabitha. If you want to watch the video later, keep an eye out on this channel, because I will be doing the episode 3 promo breakdown, and that's going to be really fun because I love the insights into the next episode. But I thank you everybody for joining this live stream. I really appreciate it. It was awesome talking with you guys about episode 2, the Fear Reaper. I look forward to doing these every single week. What time will it be? That live stream will be 7 p.m. GMT, so I believe it's just over 5 hours away. So keep an eye out for that on DJ Eric's channel, or Eric's Reloaded. So if you don't know how to get to that channel, it's actually in my subscription box on my channel. So just go onto that. I think that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching this live stream. I will be doing episode 3 promo breakdown just after this. So keep an eye out for that in a few hours time, and then a live stream even after that. But thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for the support. The channel's been doing really, really, really well recently. We've been getting like 20 to 40 to 50 subscribers a day at the minute. It's absolutely brilliant. I really can't wait to do a 10k special. So leave your suggestions for what I could even do for a 10k special in the comments on maybe my latest video or maybe in this video. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.